Hey guys, what's up? It's MatchPoint here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the best tips for Maverick. This video is going to start off with the more basic tips and progress into the more advanced parts of Maverick as the video goes on. I'll be showing you various techniques to use with Maverick, as well as useful strategies to use with him. If you're new around here, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the video. So let's get on into it. Timestamps are listed below in the description, but first we're going to start off with Maverick's loadout. So what is the optimal loadout for Maverick? Well, he has the option of the AR-15 or the M4. I would recommend taking the M4, as the AR-15 is a DMR, and in this game DMRs don't particularly favour too well. Overall, the M4 is a really strong gun. Now you should be rocking a compensator, an ACOG and a vertical grip. Now the ACOG sight can be changed up to your personal preference, and as well as the same for the vertical grip. If you prefer an angled, then go with that. Now for his gadgets, he has the option of a Claymore or a stun grenade. Now this one is very situational and more of a personal preference. If you're looking to close off a flank, then definitely take the Claymore. However, if you needed stun grenades for a specific strategy, then take that, as stun grenades also provide a great distraction when using Maverick's blowtorch. Now at the moment in the game, Maverick doesn't have any specific hard counters, which makes him a very viable operator and a strong one to use. Now let's move on to Maverick's ability. His blowtorch is capable of burning holes through a reinforced wall. Whether the opposition have a bandit, a Cade or even a mute, Maverick is still able to use his blowtorch to open up the reinforced wall. This makes him a very unique operator and one with a high skill gap. Maverick's blowtorch can be used to destroy many operator gadgets. The first one up is Castle. Now Maverick's blowtorch is able to destroy Castle's barricade. The most efficient way of doing this is going in a diagonal line with your blowtorch. You'll then be able to destroy the barricade and move on forward. Maverick can also be used with one click of his blowtorch to destroy deployable shields. Not only that, but he can also counter Maestro's cameras with his blowtorch, and his blowtorch can also destroy barbed wire as well. However, it's probably best taking the barbed wire out yourself. Although, if it has been electrified, the barbed wire, then you can easily take it out without taking any damage. Now I'll be moving on to some tricks that you can use on reinforced walls. Now, a common misconception that players have when using Maverick is that creating murder holes is a good way to go about it. 90% of the time when you're picking a murder hole that you've created with Maverick, you're going to get killed. It's not effective at all, as when you think about it and put it into perspective, the defenders have the whole room to change their movement and the angles that they're holding on that Maverick hole, whereas the Maverick who is peeking from the other side has only got that small tiny hole to see through and is putting himself in a bad position. Now there's a technique that can be very effective, and I like to call it the cheese grater. For this one, when you buy a reinforced wall, simply create several murder holes all over the reinforced wall, and it should look like a cheese grater. Now what you've done there is you've created lots of lines of sight and perspectives that you can get onto the anchors. This is going to cause them to move about and change up their positions, overall crumbling their strategy. They'll be not sure on whether to look at the Maverick holes, and even so which one, and your teammates should be applying pressure from various positions. Now I wouldn't necessarily recommend you to peek these holes, as it'll put you in a limited position, whereas it'll already be causing a lot of commotion for the defenders. Now next up, we have a way to deny bandit tricking. Using Maverick's blowtorch, you can create a line across the bottom of the reinforcement, or you can simply make holes with the blowtorch where you think Bandit would have placed his shock wire. This way you can then destroy the shock wires, and if you have a Habana or a Thermite, you're able to now breach on through. Now these techniques that I've mentioned are quite risky, which is why you want to be accompanying it with distractions. Now there are many distractions that you can use. A basic one is your teammates applying pressure from a different point. You can even use smokes, Dokkaebi, Lion, Fuse, any of them will do. Now next up, Maverick's ability allows him to open up a whole reinforcement. Now to do this, you'll make a line across the top of the reinforcement with your blowtorch while ADSing. Now each reinforcement should take 2 canisters of your blowtorch, and you'll be able to see this in the bottom right corner of your screen. Therefore, if you open up 2 reinforcements, you should have used 4 canisters. And to know if you're doing this right, you should hear a sound cue of the metal wall falling. And then once you have successfully made your 2 lines on the reinforced wall and cut it off from each point, it should turn into a soft wall. And then you'll be able to destroy this bit of the soft wall, whether you've got a Sledge, Zafir, Ash, anyone like that, and then you'll be able to vault on through, as you can see. This technique is very effective, and it can come in handy when you have that thermite or Habana band. Next up, I'm going to be showing you a trick that you can use to vault through reinforced walls after using his ability. Now what you simply need to do is from the edge of the reinforced wall, you need to make a semicircle and connect it back to that edge of the reinforced wall again. This technique, and the same with the others, will take a lot of time to practice in custom games, but once you learn it, it can become a very effective method to have. Now, the vaulting mechanic will be a bit inconsistent, but you'll just have to adapt to it and get used to it. Now, Maverick is able to counter mirrors, and I'll be showing you this technique and how to use it. So there are two ways that you can do this. The first way is to make 4 holes using his ability onto the mirror where it's being supported, and once you've done this successfully, the mirror should automatically come down. Now, the second method of doing it is to make a blowtorch hole under the mirror where the canister will be, and then once you've made that hole, you can then go and take out your gun to destroy the canister, and then the mirror will be taken out. Now we'll be moving on to some various strategies for opening hatches. Now, if you don't know already, Maverick can open soft hatches with a simple click of his blowtorch. As long as you hold it down for a very brief second, it should be opened. Now, if you're wanting to open reinforced hatches, there's a technique that we can use. Now, if the opposition has a Cade and you don't have a Thatcher as it's been banned, for example, this is where Maverick can come into prime use. For the reinforced hatch, you want to be making a line across it in one direction all the way to the other side of the reinforcement. Once you have done that, go to the adjacent side of that line you have just made on the hatch. Then go and make a similar line across the other direction. And then once you have done that, the hatch will now be opened. Now the last trick that I'm going to show you is definitely a sneaky one and a very good one to use. If you decided to pick the Claymore, or one of your teammates has a Claymore, you can simply place it down next to a reinforcement quite close to it. Then use Maverick so that one of the lasers can poke through to the other side of the wall. If you made a hole where the laser is facing, you should be able to see it on the other side of the wall. This can definitely catch defenders off guard, and sometimes you'll get a cheeky kill from it. Overall, Maverick is a really good operator. Guns are decently strong, as well as him having no hard counters directly to him. There are so many strategies that you can use with him, it's endless. Maverick does have a high skill gap, but if you can learn even a few of these strategies, or even all of them, then you'll be able to use Maverick to the best of his ability. He's definitely an asset to have on your team, and I would definitely recommend you trying him out and using these tips. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. If you did, or you found this video useful, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe for tips and tricks videos twice a week. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.